Good morning, and welcome to Winnipeg. Now, I was thinking a few moments ago, I should have made notes because there's so many little things I want to remember to say. First of all, I think that we've lost our renters. In other words, the birds that were moving into the birdhouse. Well, the day before yesterday, I did a search with the security camera, and one of the birds, probably the daddy bird, was coming to the perch and standing on the perch, and it had a grub or a worm in its beak. It would stick its head into the bird house, and then it would come out. And the third time, it had a worm. It came and it landed on the perch, and it sat there for a while. And I'd find it, except it's too time consuming. And anyway, take my word for it. So anyway, it sticks its head in the hole. I don't think it actually goes right in, but when it pulled its head back out, it was eating the worm. So it didn't give the worm to anybody inside the birdhouse. So I think what's happened is that Mrs. Bird has flown the coop. And I've heard that this happens, that they will make a nest, and then the mummy bird will decide she doesn't want to lay her eggs there, and she'll go somewhere else. Now, it could also be because there's a lot of cankerworms crawling around on top of the birdhouse, but from what I can understand is that the birds will eat those worms, so I don't know what was going on there. Anyway, I think we've lost our birds again this summer. So we're not going to be seeing baby birds trying to fly off of the perch. Now, our sunrise this morning, I haven't even edited it out yet. If it's acceptable, I'll dub it in, or will have already dubbed it in. Okay, from what I noticed, it was nothing spectacular. Now, I went for a bike ride and I did the retake. Remember yesterday I was talking about I wasn't really happy about where the camera was? Well, the camera was mounted lower on my chest, so I tightened up the straps and I moved it up about 2 inches, maybe 3. And not only that, I took the speedometer off of from the bicycle, and instead of having the wires and everything go over the bar and having the speedometer sticking up, I had to have the wires going under the handlebar, and it's dropped down a good couple of inches or so. So now you got fairly good visibility. But I am not going to run the bike ride until the end of today's episode, because there's people that just don't want to, maybe some of the people in Jim Steen's Model Ship Club, they don't want to watch a bike ride. They want to see me work on this, and they probably wish I didn't talk so much. Okay, third thing. I did give this its second coat last night. I was thinking, am I going to need to give it a third one? And I don't think so. We'll be talking about this when we actually get at it. And, we're going to work on our funnel. We're going to paint the inside of the funnel today. That's what we're going to do. Now, fourth thing. When I left for my bike ride, I didn't realize it, but the people who we have seen quite often earlier this year, who we have affectionately called the walkers, they had come and gone already. By the time when I was doing up my helmet, they were already headed back home. So I kind of missed them, at least so I thought. But I think you will be pleasantly surprised for those of you who take the 16 minutes at the end of today's episode and watch my bike ride. Yeah, bit of a surprise. A very pleasant surprise. Now, was there a fifth thing? There probably was a fifth thing. I'll think of it as we come along. Well, another nice day, isn't it? and the black truck with the that sounded like it had a Hemi, it didn't drive by this morning. So, okay, I'm running out of stuff to talk about, aren't I? Let's move on here. A few moments ago, I had opened the windows, probably about half an hour ago, I guess now, and let some, nice cool breeze through, because that's sort of the way it was when I was out riding this morning. And I think it was 22 when I was out with the bike. And anyway, just now I'm noticing it's getting kind of warm and muggy, and I look over at my thermometer there, and it's 33.1. And the sending unit for that particular thermometer is in the shady side of the house. We are going to have a really warm day. A nice day for, just lounging at the beach, I guess. Anyway, let's move in here because there's something I want to show you. Okay, one of the viewers was mentioning that how now am I going to, paint this, being as I've already got this part painted. And my plan is I'm going to paint this entire thing, the 19, okay? And I realize that later I'm going to have to brush this on. We talked about that yesterday. But this part here will not go on until everything is done here, including painting this, because as you will remember, this piece goes over top. I guess it doesn't have to stay on here anymore. I think I'm going to leave it on there because I got to paint the splinter rails. So I think there's some sort of optical unit goes in there. I don't think it's a gun. We'll come to it eventually. Whatever it is, we've got it somewhere. But if we move on here, we move over here to, I gave these a second coat as well, okay? Now, let's paint the inside of the funnel and then mask everything off eventually. I probably have to give it 2 coats, and we'll be using the NATO black again, which is this one right here. Okay. Now, I'm going to use the rotator here, and I realize that quite often you're not going to be able to see where I'm brushing because I'm going to have to turn it so it's best for me. Sorry about that, but I will try to turn it back every once in a while so you can see what's happened. Now, as for these little vents, these 3 vents that go in these 3 holes, I'm going to put them in after this time because I was having difficulty painting around all this stuff. And so I'll paint them black separate, glue them in place, and then just touch up the base if I need to. And I probably will because the CA will, or rather the extra thin is going to make a bit of a mess there. All right, so let's move in a little bit here. It's about as close as I can get without putting on the macro lens. You know what, I should put my other glasses on. Don't know why I don't think of that earlier, but okay, so we're just going to sort of put it in there fairly thick. And we will be doing 2 coats. Okay, now in order to get the inside of the funnel, I have to turn it like this. Now the top is going to be, this top piece here is going to be covering most of this anyway, and we're not going to see any place that I might have accidentally missed I think I've mentioned this before, but I hate having to video or photograph something that's black because it's just practically no detail at all. Alright, if I got everything there. Let's go around the edge here. I will be masking this off after we get the cap glued down. You know, the cap that we're going to glue on 90 degrees the wrong way. You know, it's not my fault that when they made the USS Iowa back in the, what was it, around 1943, that they didn't know that the cap was supposed to go the other way, and they put it the wrong way. So, yeah, well, that's the way it goes. Oh, I can't really seem to get in there. What's the problem here? I'm not going down far enough with my brush, that's the problem. Now, Ron, don't try to paint with your left hand. Now, I don't want to fill those holes up either. There we go. Okay. I don't want to be giving it a second coat now because all that's going to happen is I'm just going to make it worse. Okay. I know it kind of looks some places like they're like right there. I can't seem to get that. Maybe there's a little bit of grease spot on there. It just doesn't want to paint too good. All right, have I got everything here? Okay, this top is going to be basically covered with the I just want to make sure that when I put the masking tape all the way around, it's going to look like it's black on the top and not 19, because this, as we've said before, this plastic is the exact same color as the XF19. Okay, have I got everywhere? Oh no, there's some right on the inside there. Let's just poke the brush in there. I know it's not a real good job of painting, but I think the second coat is going to look pretty good. Okay, now let's see how we're going to mount this now. All we have to do is just paint the top of it, because nobody's going to be seeing it from the underside. So, okay, let's recompose here. Okay, I guess you know this is a piece of upside down masking tape, right? All right, that won't come off. And my brush should still be, I didn't rinse it out, but I guess I should have. It's probably going to be a little bit on the dry side here. Oh no, not too bad. No, it's okay. Okay, now remember, this is just the first coat, so it doesn't have to be, well, I was going to say it doesn't have to be good, but I guess it'd probably be a good idea if it was good. Let me make sure I get the inside of these. sometimes it looks like you're not touching the or getting any paint on, but if the paint just even touches it a little bit, there is this very, very thin film that almost acts like a primer, kind of. Not like real primer, of course, but you know, that stuff that I say is overrated. I think I'm not too popular with some people. But that's my opinion. I think that primer is a little bit overrated. Oh, you gotta prime everything. I remember one time, way back when I was first starting doing the Bismarck, somebody said that they clear coat the entire model after they're through. And I kind of bristled a little bit at that, because I was thinking, well, you know, you get it all over your easy line and that kind of stuff. Well, that's... You know what? I should have painted the inside of this first. Now how am I going to get on the inside? Well, I guess I have to wait till this dries. All right, let's just get here where on the edge. See, most of that flange that I'm actually probably getting a little bit of paint on is going to be stuck down into the funnel. I don't think we're going to actually see that, but maybe just in case. Yeah, just in case. Okay. Yeah, I should have done the inside there. You can... Well, as the old saying goes, too soon old, too late smart. Okay. Let's just let that dry, and then I'll take it off and probably do it off camera. Okay, now, as for these things here, I don't know if I could grab them with one of Chris's alligator clips or not. I'm afraid that it could accidentally nip the peg right off. Like grab it on the peg, right? Well, we'll just check it out and see how it works out. Hey, Chris, they work. Okay. Yeah, now if I'm, careful with my brush and I don't put too much, wiggling on them, they should be all right. And once again, this is just the first coat. Well, that's going on pretty good. Now this bell thing is supposed to be drilled out, I believe. But I'm not going to bother. I think I mentioned the last time when I was doing the other funnel that if I tried to drill it out, I'd probably get it off center, and it would end up looking worse than it does if I hadn't tried to drill it out. So don't want to overdo it here. We are going to give it a second coat later. And the last one. If you remember on Wednesday I had a neighbor come over, and somebody I'd known since we moved here, but he'd never come over for coffee before, and he came over for our Wednesday coffee break, Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing. And he liked it so much he was probably going to start doing it regular, so now I'm going to have to make twice as much coffee. Okay. Alright, let's get our brush cleaned up here. Okay. I was just thinking that maybe before I clean the brush up, might be a good idea to try and paint the inside of this. Get the first coat on. And I know that in all likelihood, using the self-locking tweezer here, I'm probably going to have to repaint that where the tweezer is touching. But okay, let's put that down where you open this. And now just the inside of the rim there is where it's going to be seen. Like the underside of these is not going to be seen. We don't need to worry about that. Probably just one coat is all that's going to be necessary, but most likely I'll end up giving it two. Okay, so how's that look? Yeah, if I'm going to give it two coats, and I'll just leave well enough alone here. You know, I'm noticing here on the edge, I didn't get that very good though, did I? I know most of this is that lip is going to go down into the... I guess I was trying to maybe dry brush it just a little bit too much. Yeah, I didn't realize how thin I put it on there. And just a little bit more here. Don't want the paint built up too much, because if I do, and it's not going to want to fit in the part. Okay, let's leave that. You know what, I think I'm just going to leave this on the self-locking tweezer here. And, oh, you know what, I'm seeing where I missed on the edge there. Let's come at this from the inside. Yeah. Yeah, when I'm seeing it in a new light here, maybe I should have been using my thick brush and just sort of, swabbed it in, kind of, you know what I mean? Okay, I think I've got the sides of those things now. Remember on the Bismarck, the Hood, and the Rodney, we had to make this part out of photo etch. Oh, that was an experience. I think I'm not seeing any plastic glinting on the sides. Now, I'm not worried about the bottom of these things, it's the sides. So when you look at it from the... Yeah, I think we basically got it now. Okay, let's let that dry. Okay, I'm gonna have to wrap today's episode up. Been a lot more painting going on here than I thought. And remember to stay tuned for the bike ride and meet the walkers. Okay, here we go for the retake. Morning. Well, once again, those people look familiar, don't they? Morning.
Morning.
You folks are out here quite often.
Every day, never miss.
Okay, I don't know, at risk of maybe being punched out here, you folks are actually on YouTube and you don't know it.
Really?
Yeah, I live just over on Callum Crescent there.
Okay.
And I've been watching the sunrise with a camera. And we noticed that you folks walk through it as a silhouette.
Oh, cool.
And people around the world have seen you, and they've commented to the fact that it seems like the same two people are about the same time every morning. Now, of course, the sun is coming up earlier now, so you're not in it anymore.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
But do you mind that you're going to be on YouTube?
No.
That's kind of nice.
Cool.
Okay.
We're down in Bridget.
So how do I find it?
Well, my name is Ron Calverley. I don't have a card or anything.
Calverley?
Calverley, yes.
How do you spell that?
Calverley. And you go on YouTube.
Oops, sorry.
Calverley.
That's right. And if you go on YouTube and just Google, like on the YouTube search thing, just Google Ron Calverley, and you'll see my videos there, and you might have to do a lot of looking before you actually find yourselves. But if you were to go back about 2 or 3 months when the sun was coming up as you were coming over the bridge.
Cool. That's very nice of you.
We haven't missed for 3 years walking.
Well, we used to walk down Kildonan Drive or Kildonan Park, and then when COVID started, we used to have our coffee and then use the washrooms and the community club or in Kildonan Park. But since then, now we just walk here and we find it better, and we just stay home.
Okay, so it's Dawn and Bridget?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dawn and Bridget, thanks.
And you don't mind being on YouTube?
No, that's nice. Nothing.
I'm famous.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Actually, you are. There's somebody, I believe it was a guy in Holland. He did the street view and he tried to figure out, I wonder where they live.
Oh, 160 Strongburg Drive.
Oh my goodness, you even gave your address.
Yeah,
Sure,
no,
what the
we
hell?
got nothing to hide.
Well, no, I don't either. I know some people, they like anonymity, but I'm not like that, so.
No,
I'm
we're
just a
okay.
regular type
We're
person.
just regular.
Nothing going on, just walking every day.
Yeah, walking every day, enjoying it. You see lots of wildlife here, so.
I saw a coyote running through my yard with a rabbit in his mouth this morning.
Yeah.
There's foxes by our place.
Yeah. We've
And
seen an otter
We've seen
here.
an otter here
We've
last
seen
summer.
a heron.
Heron here last summer.
What else have we seen?
Different things.
Yeah, different things.
Yeah.
I just got this e-bike this week, and I haven't been riding
nice.
for 17 years, so I'm a little bit wobbly yet.
You're doing
okay.
good. You're doing
You're
good.
out here,
It
that's
looks
the main
good.
thing.
Nice bike.
That is
you're
nice.
doing
Well,
good.
really nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Ron.
And
We'll see.
you're
Ron
doing
and
great.
Dawn.
Ron and Dawn.
Okay,
Okay, so you have a good
Take care.
bye. Morning. Morning. Okay, now I'm going to try and stand so that you can see the house here. Maybe what I'll do is I'll superimpose a still and put an arrow so you can just sort of see the camera hanging down from the corner of the house there. And maybe the foliage is sort of blocking it, so it might not work. But anyway, that's where the camera is. It's viewing right now, and I'm going to wave right this minute. So yeah. And wasn't that nice? We got to meet the walkers, and they're such nice people. Okay, let's see if I can get going again here without falling down. Okay, I think I'm gonna try and take the shortcut here. I know this is a bit of a path. I hope there's no glass or nails in it. It's a little bit on the rough side, isn't it? I don't know if I'll do this again. I don't actually know if I'm allowed to ride on the sidewalk, but there's not really a bike path. I think if I go nice and careful here and anybody spots me and... Alright, here we are on our rough street. You know, it never used to be like this, but a lot of things never used to be, so... I'm kind of anxious to get back home and edit out the footage there. I hope the camera didn't cut out on me, because that little interview with the walkers was really nice. It was actually a huge surprise. They were so friendly, so open. Gave their names and where they lived, and yeah, that was really something. Okay, let's all right. Okay, home again, home again. And press stop here.